All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Market Trading. I'm your host, Tone Vays. We are going straight to the charts. I'm still somewhat in transit, but tomorrow I will be in Phoenix, Arizona. If you are in Phoenix, Arizona, and can somehow catch my attention, hit me up. Might do a steak dinner. I'm only there for 2 nights. And then moving on to Las Vegas. So Phoenix and Vegas. Vegas for a couple of nights as well. All right, Joe Colasari. Hey, Joe, you want to jump on the stream, man? We'll send you a link. Check your Telegram, Joe. If you want to jump on and discuss stuff, you're welcome. Also invited one more friend, but he's out in Australia, so I don't know if he's going to be awake. Long-term chart. This is the BLX liquid index. It only updates once a day when a candle ends, so we don't see the big move down to the $27,000 area. He's drafting a brief. Too bad. Yeah, some people still have to work for a living. Sorry, Joe. So here is our weekly chart. And I did not really like this chart. We were negative in the MRI. We were in a downtrend of the MRI. The MRI is still calling for a very horrendous September. As you guys know, the stock market performs very, very badly in September. So I also expected that. We do have support. There is hope to, to quote Trayvon James, one of my favorite videos of all time. We've played it on this channel many times. And there is hope. There's hope that this moving average that's coming up, that's the long-term 200-week moving average, is going to reverse us. Now, it's not always perfect. You can see how the last time we hit this moving average, we actually broke it to the downside, but we never closed an entire candle below the moving average. There was still a part of that candle that was still above the moving average, and this was a reversal candle itself. It also flipped the wave, the alphanumerics wave, from red to green, which is a good sign. We're going to get to alphanumerics in a second. Let's talk about the Tone Vays position. I have made it very, very clear that the moment we take out these lows of 28,500, the position is to be lowered. Okay, I am now gonna lower the position, which anyway, on a daily scale, this looks very, very different, but we're not dealing with the 4-day scale. Okay, am I gonna lower this all the way to 0? I'm gonna leave it at 20%. I'm not gonna take this all the way to 0. I'm not leaving it to 0 because the moving averages have not yet crossed over. They have not yet crossed over. I'm waiting for that final push to cross over. So we are still in a bullish position, but this bullish position has become very, very tiny. And I also made it clear that the moment we fall below the prior swing lows, and yesterday's closing candle closed horrendously. It closed right near the lows, right above the moving average. And the moment current candle started trading lower, this candle is worse than it looks because TradingView, for some reason, has a problem starting off candles properly. This candle did not have a move to the upside. This candle opened exactly where the last candle closed, and this new current candle started off as a complete disaster, and immediately the position is to be lowered. I am okay with a 20% bullish position. We were also in a 20% bullish position back here. Back here was a little bit stronger because the long-term moving average was rising. Now our long-term moving average is declining. We're going to be a lot more trigger happy this time. And if next candle, we are still stuck under 28,500, it will be time for a 100% cash position. So this looks very, very ugly. This was, please watch yesterday's episode if you have not. I talked about these time cycles. I no longer need to show this chart. I'm going to close this chart, but we are aware that there is an interesting day going to happen in January of next year, but the really important day is coming in March of 2026. If you are looking for some trading tools, check out tonevays.com, learn trading. That section is free. The on-demand videos are not free. They will cost a little bit of money. They are more advanced, and the MRI is more advanced still. Not giving that one away yet. Max Kaiser said he's bearish on Bitcoin now. That is very surprising. Very surprising he said that. Any levels that you watch to enter in your miners stock portfolio? Well, I'm going to wait for the price of Bitcoin to turn around. That's most important. March 2026 ETF news. Very possible. Very possible. We'll get to the miners in a bit. Where are we going next? Okay, so the financial summit will take place in the UAE November 5 to 10. Those are the rooms. Follow us on. Oh, we just did another. We did another Spaces yesterday on the Financial Summit YouTube channel. Go ahead and check that out. Not published yet on YouTube, but it should be probably later today. It should go up on YouTube, where you can check out our other videos regarding the Financial Summit and what it's like. Unconfiscatable is coming to Las Vegas in December. I will be there later this week for a bunch of meetings and signing contracts with vendors and getting the carnivory dinner squared away. Also, as explained yesterday, we are, oh yeah, follow us on Instagram, the Financial Summit Twitter handle. I think it's very unlikely that we're going to head down to that $15,000 area to give you another perfect opportunity to buy the dip. I believe that is unlikely to happen. I believe we have started a nice bullish trend, and this current drop should reverse any day. One second. So here's the good news. Here's your hope. There's 3 levels of hope right here. One of them is we are coming up on the long-term moving average. The long-term moving average in Bitcoin is the 200 daily moving average. We're looking at the daily chart now. And that is at $27,300. So we are very, very close. That is hope number 1. Hope number 2 is this green diamond right here that is taking place inside or above the green wave based on alpha numerics. Alpha numerics, Matt McGregor was on this channel explaining alpha numerics. I now have this indicator on my charts all the time. I like it. I pay attention to it. It uses a lot of cool features. And that is giving him a green diamond. And he texted me this morning saying he went long on this green diamond that just showed up in the last hour. So once the price of Bitcoin fell below 28,000, well, he wrote the indicator. I don't know what causes the green diamond to appear, but he does. So he knew the green diamond was imminent, and he jumped on it even slightly before the green diamond showed up. The green diamond showed up about an hour later after his text saying he's going long. The price of Bitcoin dropped another $100. Green diamond shows up, and here we are. Okay, that is hope number 2, and they're in no particular order. And here is hope number 3. In a few days, you will get an MRI buy on a daily scale, and this MRI buy is happening on the dip. Okay, as I've been saying for a few weeks now, this is good. We have established a very clean lower low, and we're nowhere near the $24,000 area. to, or $25,000 area to take out the MRI support line and the prior swing low. So this becomes an awesome area for a potential reversal. So while I thought that it's possible that the 128-day moving average can reverse the price of Bitcoin, and then we'll reevaluate when we knock our head on the 50 period, we are now in a situation where I can certainly see a rebound off the 200-day moving average, off the MRI buy that's coming this weekend, and off the green diamond alphanumerics. This is, you know, stars in the moon and Mars and Venus aligning into one, creating a beautiful buy the dip situation. However, my allocation is not based on MRI or alphanumerics or the daily moving averages. It is based on the 4-day chart using only moving averages. And this chart does not show any reason why the price of Bitcoin is going to reverse. Therefore, I will not be buying this dip. And this chart doesn't have so this chart, the position allocation chart based on Consensio, doesn't even have the concept of buying the dip. It is not in this kind of portfolio. It is a very risk-averse portfolio. For those of you that don't understand the term risk-averse means you are afraid of risk. You don't take risk. That is a risk-averse trading plan. That is a risk-averse person. A risk-averse person does not take risk. And anytime you buy the dip, you are taking a risk. So while there is a reason to buy the dip on a daily scale, the 4-day allocation chart does not have the concept of buying the dip. This is very bullish looking. Maybe not right now, but certainly over the next few days. I think this is an amazing risk-reward opportunity. I would wait for the MRI because I'm an MRI trader. Matt McGregor pays attention to the MRI, but his entry point is his indicator alphanumerics. So he went bullish. I will wait for the MRI buy. So if I'm lucky, I'll get a lower price of 27,300 to buy my dip, and he already bought his dip. You guys are adults, I hope, and you make your own decisions as we make ours. This is our 4-hour chart. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. Let's see what happened here. Also, I really want to see what this looks like. This is BitMEX funding rate, and I would have loved to see the BitMEX funding rate over in this area here, but it did not. Whoa, I was playing around with some lines over in that area there, but the funding rate is not really screaming buy the dip. So just something to be aware of. The funding rate is not as dire as it was on March 11 or May 10. And this is November. So this is when FTX, this is when we crashed to 15. I'm assuming March is when we crashed to 20, and I'm assuming May is when we crashed to 25. Let's go back and check. November 9th is definitely this. Yep. And there's your green diamond. March 9th, there's your green diamond again. And that was the crash in the BitMEX funding rate and an MRI buy this time. See, this is where the moon and the stars and Venus also align. Here is a green diamond 1 day before the MRI buy and moving average support, long-term and intermediate term. So you had a reversal candle. So 5 things. This is what I stated was one of my most optimistic points to buy the dip ever in the entire history of Bitcoin. In the entire history of Bitcoin, and I've been doing this 8 years now with these kinds of videos, this opportunity to buy off of the hammer candle, off the MRI, off the green diamond, off both moving averages, inside the green wave, as McGregor loves it. This was the best opportunity to buy Bitcoin from a risk-reward perspective, possibly in the entire history of Bitcoin. Well, my history of Bitcoin starts in like 2014, since 2014. So it's been, and this happened in 23, so 9 years. In 9 years, this was one of the greatest opportunities from a TA perspective. This many things have never aligned in a single like chart, in my view. And then the next best opportunity was to buy off of the 25,000, but it wasn't as good. But you also see it, is that 25,000? That is 25,000. But that's not where, that's June. So that's not what this had. This was May 7, May 8. What happened May 7, May 8? I don't see anything here. Let me see. May 7, May 8, according to BitMax funding rate, that's right there. Interesting. I don't see much here. Wow. Huh. Wow. So the BitMax funding rate crashed, creating a buying opportunity, but that kind of happened in a weird place. That's very strange. I would have thought it would have happened like May 12th, where you had another hammer candle. The low comes in over here on June 25th. What did the funding rate look like? Nothing special. Nothing special in the funding rate at all. Interesting. And nothing special is happening now. Very interesting. Just something to keep in mind. Just something to keep in mind. I really like this area for a reversal. It avoids the tone Vays double bottom predicament, where I don't know what to do at a double bottom. I never buy the double bottom dip. And this double bottom would be very, very unfortunate. Can you suggest a brokerage that works in Alberta, Canada? I have no idea, guys. The last time I was in Canada was like 5 years ago. And I don't think I'll ever be in Canada again. Like, I don't know. I don't really pay attention to Canada. Short-term chart. Short-term chart is pointing to more downside. A second consecutive MRI buy coming up. It is a 4-hour reversal candle. The big crash already happened. It'll probably pull us back up a little bit, but I do think lower prices are coming. GBTC discount is holding up insanely well. People are buying the dip on GBTC. That is super impressive. This gives me even more confidence that the moment we break out to new swing highs, this discount may not just break 20, it may break 15. Very, very promising. Oil is super interesting. We got the numbers. And guess what? The lying Biden administration has bought more oil into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve after saying they're not going to. Hold on. I need to find these articles. Biden administration says oil reserve hard to replenish. This was a Bloomberg article. U.S. rejects another round of offers to replenish oil stockpiles. This article comes out August 1st. I'm going to grab this. So August 1st, we're going to put it right here into the Google Docs immutable blockchain, which is infinitely more immutable than Ethereum. I have spreadsheets that go back 25 years. Not a single piece of data has ever been altered. One day, Bitcoin might be more immutable than Excel. For now, it's not. My Excel spreadsheets are still have a longer immutability record than even Bitcoin. And they're Google Docs, you know, like, hey, the people at Google can go and alter them, but no one has yet. It's been 25 years, still waiting. They're pretty damn immutable, guys. Now, I trust that Bitcoin's immunity is stronger than Excel's, but Bitcoin can prove me wrong. Ethereum already has, that's for sure. My solution to any questions about Canada is please move out of Canada. Now, this came out August 1st. Let's move this article up. to here, maybe here. So on August 1st, they're saying they're not going to replenish the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. And then the week of August 4th, they do replenish Strategic Petroleum Reserve, the complete opposite of what they told the media. Let's see. There were other articles. I need tools past month. Biden administration delays plan to restock nations overseas. Delays plans to no what? Yeah, delays plans to restock. Here we go. This came out August 2nd. There you are. August 2nd. Probably same news. So here they are saying to the news organizations that they're not going to replenish the Strategic Oil Reserve, but they are replenishing the Strategic Oil Reserve. This is some kind of 4D chess that I don't understand. No, I don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing, and you can't make sense of it. Please make it make sense. Biden administration refuses to refill Strategic Oil Reserve. Well, Texas knows how to word these things. What is this? CNN. This should be promising. Under Biden, U.S. oil production is poised to break Trump-era record. So they're producing the shit out of oil. That's great. But aren't the Democrats anti-oil? Like, again, this is like, make this make sense. CNN Business. Under Biden, U.S. production is poised to break Trump-era's record. So, but you are against oil, but the Biden administration is anti-fossil fuels. Why are you breaking Trump's era records of how much oil you are sucking out of the ground? You are for climate change. You are against pollution. You are against oil. Like again, make this make sense to me, please. And you're CNN. You're the champion of propaganda Marxist news. How is this? How is this your headline? Like, make this make sense to me, please. Guys, I don't care what Michael Burry does. I don't follow Michael Burry. Michael Burry trades billions of dollars. I don't have that kind of money. What Michael Burry does is irrelevant. Also, what Michael Burry says is usually the opposite of what he does. It's like the Biden administration, right? If he's telling you he's shorting Bitcoin, he's probably buying the dip right now as you're panicking selling. Don't ever listen to billionaire hedge fund people. I bet you he's buying it right now. He has profited from the short. You have found out about the short. You are now shorting as he's buying it from you. I don't pay attention to what these guys say. I don't. I might pay attention to what they think about the economy, but anytime someone that trades an extra zero more than you in their trades, in this case, 3 extra zeros or 4, you don't pay attention to what they say. Their positions are completely irrelevant to your positions. They will only screw you up. All right, now let's talk about oil. So the Biden administration has bought oil this week. The last week of July, they purchased oil. And last week, they also purchased oil. What are they doing this week? Well, this week, oil prices are dropping. So I don't know what they're doing this week, but it's possible they are selling the oil that they purchased. This is natural gas. Natural gas on a daily chart is hitting areas of support. And let's see if it rallies and makes new highs. I like the fact that this chart is making higher lows and higher highs like 5 consecutive times. You follow the pattern and high probability, we're going to bounce here again and go higher. Gold is breaking a critical area of support. I am no longer bullish on gold. There were no positions on gold. There was never a great risk reward. Gold will give you an incredible risk reward trade once it breaks the $2,000 area. And right now we are flirting with 1900. So we still have ways to go. Gold has some support coming up at 1890 when it hits the moving average. S&P 500 is crashing down. It's creating a beautiful pullback. S&P 500 has gone up a little further than was a little heated up. It is coming up on moving average support, trend line support and moving average support. I think this trend line is a little bit steep. I would love for this to come down and touch the moving average. I think the S&P is still bullish, but the area of support is somewhere over here as well. This is 4,200, which is kind of far from the moving average of 4,350 next week. And then the intermediate moving average will be rising as well. So I would not rush into the stock market right now. It can fall as low as 4,200, but I would be very, very hard pressed to see it lower than that. And September is a terrible month for stocks. Therefore, October would be a beautiful opportunity to buy the dip, just like last October was a beautiful opportunity to buy the dip. I was very bullish here in October between the weekly MRI buy, the week of October 17th, and the week before, where we made the low. It was a monthly MRI buy as well. Everything aligned for a stock market reversal last October, and things might align absolutely perfectly this October as well. Or at the end of October, we can even get another MRI buy. We have an MRI support. We have moving average support. So many things are aligning for the S&P to reverse at the end of October. But how low will Bitcoin go if the S&P goes that low? We will find out. Daily S&P has stabilized. Bitcoin is rallying back above 28, but I think this is trouble. You can go back to the daily chart. You can see how once critical support broke yesterday at 29, shit started to get bad quickly. I'm sure I've mentioned it before, maybe on a 4-hour chart right here. The 4-hour chart had this line at $28,800. The line happened to break on an MRI buy candle, but the MRI buy candle closed terribly right at the MRI support. The following candle was a reversal candle, which I would have seen as bullish. However, that's a reversal candle. It did still break MRI support. It created new lows. It's coming off an MRI buy. There was one thing missing for me to buy this dip. I would have needed the price on this candle right here, which took place at midnight Eastern time last night. I would have needed that candle to start trading above, at the very least, above the body of the 8 p.m. candle Eastern time last night. At the least, it needed to trade above the body. Most likely, it needed to trade above the high. And then I would have considered buying the dip if I was in a, let's say, 12-hour to 24-hour trading competition. But that never happened, and now we're accelerating down. This is the 5th candle of the MRI trend. The fact that this candle is an upswing candle will make it easier to reach an MRI buy on a 4-hour scale. Right now, this is a dead cat bounce. I am not anticipating a full-blown reversal, but as I stated earlier, Matt McGregor is. The green diamond has disappeared. This is super interesting. I gotta talk to him about this. Like, see, the green stars can appear and then disappear during the life of a candle. But the arrows from the MRI do not appear and then disappear. If a green arrow or a red arrow from the MRI appears, it will be there forever. The only way this green arrow will ever disappear after it first showed up is if TradingView changes the data of the asset. That's it. There's no other way to make this green arrow disappear. But this green star could have disappeared had the candle closed differently. Or in other words, this red candle here could have had a green star at some point, then it disappeared, and then it showed up here because it went, the candle went up. The green diamond, which we all saw 20 minutes ago when I started the stream, has now disappeared. But Matt McGregor has entered the trade based on, no, green diamond, sorry, not green star. But based on that green diamond, he entered the trade. It would be really nice to see this green diamond into the future. I got to talk to him about this. I got to talk to him why the green diamond disappears and what does it mean? Because I like the fact that my green arrows never disappear. Like, this is why I like certain indicators and I don't like other indicators. Because this red arrow, I know if it was right or it was wrong. But this green star, if there was a green star that disappeared, when I look back at that candle a year later, I have no idea if I had an indication to buy. But the green stars are reliant on the close price of a candle. That's why they disappear and reappear. The green and red arrows do not rely on the closing price of the candle. They rely on the highs and lows of the candle, or the break of prior candles, highs and lows. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Oh, wait, is the green diamond back? It's back. Look at this, it's back. Wait, is it back or was it just hidden behind? Was it hidden behind my arrow? Is that possible? Is it possible it was there the whole time and I didn't see it because it was hidden behind the arrow? I'm so tempted to like watch this. Oh, no, price drop. Price drop. I want to watch. I want to see if it appears and disappears. The green diamond's back. It just appeared. I want to see at what price it disappears. Where's the price level? It's probably like 28.50 or 28.1, 28,100. Super interesting. Right. See, because it disappears, it'll be hard for Matt McGregor to then come back on my channel like in 3 months and make his case as to why he went long on this candle for the perfect trade, right? Because if the price goes up like this, right, he'll say, hey, there was a green diamond, what a perfect trade that was. But if the green diamond's not there, like, we don't know that this was a great trade. So I need to talk to him to see whether the green diamond should remain the moment it showed up, the way this green arrow will never, ever disappear. Once that green arrow showed up, stayed there. This is a green arrow from extension A. Extension A's are not my favorite dip opportunities to trade. They're my least favorite green arrow to trade. I prefer B and C over A, and I prefer the number over A, B, and C. In a perfect world, the number shows up with an extension, a B or a C, or both. All right, NVIDIA. Like I said, stay away from NVIDIA until earnings. I wouldn't touch it. If they are watching, that means they know. Yeah, yellow talks in riddles. I don't have the I can't decipher them half the time. Sorry. If the stock market is crashing, the Fed is less likely to raise the rate. The next rate hike is 1 month away, September 20th, even more than a month away. All right, we're going to take a look at some Bitcoin miners, see how they're doing. US stocks, where are my miners? Can I find them? Where'd they go? There they are. Canaan's been in trouble. Bitfarms, boom. $1.20. $1.20 is great support for me. Would love to see it go to $1.20. What a perfect call on the MRI to get out of Bitfarms at $2.15. Wolf's coming up on support. Marathon is coming up on support. I would wait. I mean, Bitcoin price could keep dropping, right? Then these things will keep dropping. Ooh, Riot is doing really bad. Coming up on Riot support is under $10. Let's see if it gets there. Yields. Let's go take a look at yields. Joe, it's an obsession, man. Oh, wow. 10-year yield. That's a new high, folks. That's a new high. That is a new high for the 10-year yield. Let's look at it a different way. Look at that. Look at that. 10-year yield flying off the charts. That's a disaster for TLT. TLT is about to hit a record low. That it's about to, well, we are about to close at new lows we have not seen since 2011. It's a 10-year low for the TLT. This is the ETF on bonds. ETF on bonds is down 50%. Look at that. Wow. That's brutal. Brutal. If you're a bond holder, you are in serious trouble. 50% drop. How about 30-year yield? 30 years at 441, 20-year 459. Yield curve still, that's right. 10-year is only at 434. So yield curve is inverted a bit. The 20-year yield is higher than the 30-year yield. That's a bit inverted. 2-year yield is at 4.9. The yield curve's all over the place. All over the place. There's a Fed funds rate. I was going to do some stuff with these charts. I don't know why we have MRI and moving averages on it. Definitely don't need moving averages on the yields. Fed funds. Oh boy. Are we going to break this? Just disaster looking. Oh, hey guys, remember when I did my tequila spreadsheet? I have more viewers now. So the tequila spreadsheet is public. You can find this spreadsheet in the video description. There's multiple tabs, and I made it easier for you guys. I made a little image it's not everything, but it's like the top 30. So if you're at a store, just look at this picture. I wish I can put like 20 more bottles in this section right here. This is the good expensive stuff. This bottle is probably the most expensive, 500. I've never had it. I've never seen it. So I went to buy this bottle. So remember I told you guys there's a store in New Jersey that has a bunch of the bottles from my top list. And they had this bottle at an unreasonably low price, $250. This bottle will usually run you $325 or more. But the store had it for $250. It's probably sitting there for like years because it's in New Jersey in the middle of nowhere. And I've been eyeing that bottle for like a few months. And then I was like, okay, I'm leaving the cabin. I'm going to drive past the store. I'm going to go in and buy it. The store is right here. It's in Sparta Township right here. I'll show you guys the store. And I said it like 2 days before I went to the store. I get to the store, the bottle's gone. Somebody beat me to it. It's the ShopRite right there. ShopRite of Sparta has an amazing liquor store. It's not as good as some of the ones you see on YouTube where people go properly shop. Right here, ShopRite Wine and Spirits. So I go there to buy tequilas. Anytime I go to the cabin in the woods. The cabin in the woods is west of this area. So Pennsylvania. So my cabin in the woods is like in this area. So I swing past the store. And man, the bottle's gone. I saved $250 plus tax. So it would have been like, $275. But man, wanted that bottle. I've had it before. It's amazing. And I also bought like whiskey, Japanese whiskey. They had 2 bottles of Japanese whiskey for $150. But that bottle is over $200 in Japan. But it's probably been sitting at that store for like 3 years. Or 4 years before the prices went up, and they have no idea prices went up. And that's why I didn't buy that bottle of Japanese whiskey in Japan. I'm like, you know what? I heard this bottle was half price a few years ago. I bet you there's stores all around America that have this bottle way cheaper than Japan has it. And I was right. Bought it at that store. But yeah, I wish I could stick more bottles here. I really wanted to. Maybe I'll redo this graphic one day. But I don't know. Maybe I can just like cover them slightly by each other and add like 3 more or something here. We'll see. But yeah, that's on the extra añejo tab. So these. So basically any of these. There's a lot of, anything up to like the B+ range. This was so. One of my friends loves this bottle. Loves it. We bought this bottle $85 in Panama. The Jose Cuervo, it has additives. That's why it was like my last B+. It has a lot of additives, but he loved that bottle. But yeah, so anything here, like anything here in the A+, A++, A's, A-, like anything in this area would be like right here. I could only choose 6. So these were my 6. And my old favorite bottle, I had to leave it in the A category, like the Herradura Selection Supreme. All right. Back to the charts. Yeah, so disappointed. I couldn't get my favorite bottle. That's my favorite bottle. I have this bottle. I haven't opened it. I'm waiting for a special occasion. Bitcoin 100K, 8-year-old age tequila. They don't even make them that much. This one is super expensive as well. Never had it. I had the other. I never had this. Never had this. I just put a bunch of bottles I never had. This is the only one on this list that I've tasted is this guy here. This was a present. Someone tipped me $300 specifically to buy my favorite tequila. And this wasn't my favorite tequila at the time, but I knew it was probably going to be, so I bought it. I have a bottle of this. I will open it one day. These I've never had. I had the other extra añejo from El Tesoro. The store has this, by the way. That store in New Jersey has this bottle. It was expensive. It was like 300. It was like 250 or something. But that brand, El Tesoro, they have El Tesoro has two of them. That's the Paradiso. That's more expensive. But for some reason, it's ranked lower. And this is the one that I did have. I've had this before, but not this one. And this is the one that's in the picture. It's aged longer. It's more expensive. It's aged in a different barrel. Yeah, well, the someone bought me the other one. Well, he sent me the money for me to buy it. It was this. This is the one that I bought. I think I have the empty bottle somewhere. This is the bottle that someone is like, Tone, here's $300 for your favorite tequila, and I bought this bottle. I think this is expensive. Cascanes. Let's see. Where is it? Cascanes. Yeah, 175. Oh, it's not that bad. 175 plus. Okay. Could be more. All right, back to the charts. Though I wasn't even going to do a stream today. Why do they put additives? Because they can. Because they can. There's a great video. I have it linked, and it's really unfortunate. I have a great video right here in the beginning. Tequila's Dirty Secrets, a great video. Maybe I'll play it on faster speed.
But I hate that most people only had horrible tequila. Tequila marketing is horrible. The mixtos, diffusers, celebrity endorse, and additive-built tequilas get pushed hard, while a lot of the quality tequila goes unnoticed. Today, I'll show you what big tequila doesn't want you to know and how to find great tequila.
So here, one of these sections. Hold on.
If you don't know much about tequila or anything at all about it, here's a quick, oversimplified explanation. Tequila can only be made in the Jalisco region of Mexico. So if your friend tells you that they have a new tequila from Texas, third up is tequila made with a diffuser. This is like taking frozen Salisbury steak thrown into the microwave, calling it Wagyu beef, charging $150 and hoping nobody will be able to tell the difference. Normally, agave fruits need to ripen to taste their best, like most fruits and vegetables. This could take 10 to 12 years. Also, the peanuts are slowly cooked so the sugars in the agave can caramelize for a sweeter, more complex flavor. These two components largely affect the great flavor in tequila, and is part of the reason why tequila is so expensive to produce. Diffuser tequilas found a workaround to cut costs, but sacrifice flavor. They instead can use young agave plants that have not fully ripened. And instead of slow cooking the agave, they just blast them with high pressure water and sulfuric acid to extract what little sugars are there. This results in...
Right. So this is why you will see on my ranking, all the diffuser stuff last. So if you go to like the Blanco tab, you'll see the shit that's at the bottom is all diffuser. It'll say acid. Some use the diffuser and then they cook it, but some use diffuser and then they use acid. So even some super expensive tequilas like Casa Dragones use a diffuser and acid, which is why I will never touch it. And it's ranked very, very low. And now here comes the additives part.
Tequila that tastes closer to vodka than it does tequila. Unfortunately, tequila producers won't tell you if their tequila is made with a diffuser. If you're thinking, does it really affect the flavor that much? Well, back in the late 90s, there was a tequila shortage. So Herradura decided to start making their tequila using diffusers between 2001 and 2010. There was such a noticeable change in the flavor that an organized group of tequila lovers and bartenders basically bullied Herradura into no longer using a diffuser for that brand of tequila. This is why tequila tries to hide this dirty little secret from you. I know it sounds bad, but it gets worse. Number 4, additives in your tequila.
This is bad.
Imagine that this is a banana, because it is, and it costs $1. Now imagine that this is a banana made in a lab. It was made with artificial flavor, so it tastes close to as good as a banana, but it was a lot cheaper to make. How would you feel if I told you that this banana was $50? Some of those really popular and really pricey tequilas have additives in them. I'll admit they don't taste horrible, but they don't taste as good as tequila you can buy for a fraction of the price. So here's the deal. Tequila producers can legally add additives to aged tequilas like reposado and ajo and extra ajo without telling you. There's 4 types of additives that they can add. Sugar syrup, which can be any type of sweetener like corn syrup, cane syrup, aspartame, sucralose, just to name a few. They can add caramel coloring that gives it that age look. Glycerin, which gives it a round mouthful feel in case the tequila came out thin and watery. And oak extract, which adds flavor and aromas found in oak barrels to make that tequila taste as though it sat in a barrel for longer than it actually did. Up to 1% of these each can be added to your tequila without having to tell you. That smooth 100% blue agave could actually be 96% blue agave and 4% additives. These additives are highly concentrated, like sweeteners that are 8,000 times sweeter than what you have at home. If you think 4% isn't a lot, stick 1% of vanilla extract into a bottle of tequila and see how much it changes. So this allows for aged tequilas to be a cheat code. Any tequila that has been aged can artificially be altered. This includes Hovens and Cristalanos. You might be thinking, Blanco tequilas are safe from additives. Well, yes and no. There's a governing agency that runs tests to make sure tequilas comply with.
Anyway, so your tequila can be 96% tequila and 4% garbage additives, which is why when you're looking through my list, the stuff that's going to be near the top or at the top will always say no additives. And then there are very respected tequilas that may use additives, or if they do use additives, they use very, very little additives. Like they don't put 1% concentrated sugars. So I did my best to identify what has it and what has not. Patron has always been in that gray zone where some people it's hard to figure out whether Patron uses additives or not. So even on my own spreadsheets, you will see sometimes it says no, and sometimes, oh, that's Parita, sorry, it's not Patron. Patron will probably say maybe. Patron used to be confirmed additive free, but they have not been able to recertify lately that they're additive free. Patron also has been telling everyone that they're additive free. So Patron is in that in-between zone. And but Patron is one of the slightly better brands. It's still in my B section, but it just got overhyped and became super popular. But right, so the lower you go, the lower the ranking, the more likely it will have additives, the more likely it will use a diffuser, and the higher you go, the more likely it will be cooked in an oven, made with a tahona, and no additives. This is your perfect combination for the best tequila, using a giant rock, cooking in an oven, and not putting additives in. That's your perfect combination that you look for. If you ever hung out with me in Panama, the only tequila I have in Panama is G4. It's very easy to buy in Panama, but I've never seen it in America, like ever. I've never seen a single store in America that carries G4, but I'm able to buy it in Panama. There's nothing else in my A list that I can buy in Panama. Like I've never seen any of these in Panama except G4. So at least something at least there's something in Panama City that I can buy that is super legit. Let's go back to Bitcoin price action and see what's going on. Oh, the green diamond is still there. There it is, still there. Maybe it was covered. Maybe it was covered by my arrow. I should drop the MRI. This way we can see if the green diamond appears or disappears. All right, I got nothing more to say on the price of assets. Casper is drinking Terralta Extra Añejo. I'm not familiar with that brand. Terralta? I don't think that's on my list. All right, so where are we here? I'm gonna get going, guys. There's really not much else to say. We talked about Russia, Ukraine a bit yesterday. Oh, look at that on a monthly chart. The Russian ruble hits an MRI top on a monthly chart. Did not know that. On a weekly, it's pulling back, and on a daily, pulling back still. All right. Yeah, it's a lot of red arrows here. And weekly and monthly. And the US dollar The dollar is rising. Look at that. I've been bullish on the US dollar. You guys know I've been bullish on the US dollar. If the US dollar, like the US dollar is still in a zone of lower highs and lower lows, but that pattern can break right now. I am bullish on the US dollar. I am bearish on Europe and Canada. I think those countries are in trouble. And we'll see where all this goes. Thoughts on Russia's military of defense latest statements? The latest statement was about the Ukrainian biolabs and how America engineered COVID and how they are doing gain-of-function research to create deadly viruses to lower the human population. And my comment is, no shit. I knew this 2 years ago, but yeah, for those wondering more specifically, here's Tucker talking about it with RFK.
Victoria Nuland kind of blithely announced during congressional testimony last year that, oh, by the way, we have these biolabs in Ukraine. Yeah. And that was like kind of ignored, and the people who covered it got attacked for covering it. But the fact remains there are U.S. biolabs in Ukraine. Why would we have biolabs in Ukraine?
We have biolabs in Ukraine because we're developing bioweapons, and and those bioweapons are using all kinds of new synthetic biology and CRISPR technology and genetic engineering techniques that were not available in the previous generation. They can make frightening stuff. What happened was, when we walked away from when the Patriot Act reopened bioweapons arms race in 2001. The Pentagon began putting a lot of money in bioweapons, but they were nervous at that time because if you violate Geneva, the Geneva Convention, it's a hanging offense. And they weren't sure that that provision of the Patriot Act would actually hold up as a loophole to treaties that had been ratified by Congress. So they were nervous about actually going full force in bioweapons development. So they transferred the authority for.
Anyway, check it out. And then Russia published. I mean, I can copy, I can't really paste it in there. Anyway, it's hard for me to show it, but Russia published a bunch of documents proving gain-of-function research and America building deadly, like basically war crimes with chemical weapons. And they laid it out. They like what was Hillary's role, what was Obama's role, what was Biden's role, what was George Soros's role, like. Russia spent like a year putting all of this together, like connecting the dots, and their head of the military basically explained how Ukraine was being used to generate these massive chemical weapons. The chemical weapons that America accused Assad of doing, which, anyway, let me not get my YouTube channel banned. And then the second time, Bashar al-Assad over in Syria was accused of using chemical weapons. The second time it was just made up. The second time there was no use of chemical weapons. The first time there was a use of chemical weapons, but I question that the Assad government did it. That's all I can say. But it gave US a reason to go in and destroy one of the more modern and safest country in the Middle East. But who's counting, right? It's like 20th country that the US has turned from something into nothing. All right, that's it for me, guys. I'll end it here. Thank you all for watching. Catch me at BitBlock Boom. I will be heading to BitBlock Boom. I'm going to be in Phoenix, then I'm going to be in Vegas, then I'll be at BitBlock Boom. All right, and then it's time to head back to Panama. See you all on the next one.